festival, the festival. I look around me, what do I see? Horses making history.
By the time Friday comes around, everyone's pretty tired, but some great racing to liven things up, that's for sure. And we start off today looking at the Triumph Hurdle, Mick, a race I know it's close to your heart. And in the lead, the market leader at the moment is Grandouille, Nicky Henderson trained horse. What can you tell us about Grandouille?
He's been doing everything right, hasn't he? He's benefited. He finished second at Cheltenham. He's improved since then. Good winner last time. And I just think the Triumph Hurdle is still muddy water as far as I'm concerned. I don't think any one horse has really stamped their authority on it. If there was a little bit of rain around, I'd be quite sweet on Dermot Wells' filly, unaccompanied, owned by Meidler Stud Farms. They don't have many jumpers. This is their first foray into the jumping game, and Dermot Wells is sweet on this filly's chances. I spoke to Davy Russell. He rode in the race that she won at Leopardstown, and he said it was the best juvenile hurdle they've had for the last 2 years in Ireland. So that's praise indeed. But I think she does need a bit of rain, so look around for soft ground. If you get soft ground, I think this filly will go very well. Another one that doesn't mind a bit of cutting ground is Marsh Warbler, Brian Ellison's horse, representing a little bit of value here for the each way thieves like myself, you know, and I think there's no value back in the favourites here. Yeah,
Marsh Warbler, you'd imagine his price would be a lot short if he was trained by one of the big guns. Let's quickly talk about the Adonis winner, Zach Hand. I was really taken by his performance. He must have a big chance here as well.
Have to, like I say, I think it's a wide open contest, and you know, Sam Winner as well. Let's give him a mention. Another one of the Paul Nicholls team. They tell me that the word from Ditchett is that this horse is showing the sort of sparkle that it showed when it won impressively early on this season. Don't forget that. Was beaten behind Marsh Warbler in bad ground at Chepstow, but they say it's back to the level of form it was shown when it ran away with a decent contest at Cheltenham.
Ross, how's the Triumph Hurdle bet been panning out?
Typically wide open, guys. I mean, traditionally a race where you can get the odd upset. We've had a real quality look about this race in recent years, though. So looking at the betting now, Grandouille 6-1 favourite at the moment with Sporting Bet. Then we've got Zarkanda 13-2, unaccompanied, as Mick mentioned there. The Dermot Weld horse would be a concern for me. The Dermot Weld record at Cheltenham there, Mick, and obviously not his greatest meet in this one, but he's a 7-1 chance. She's a 7-1 chance, I should say. And Sam Winner 8-1. That's the one I'm interested in. As Mick said, the rumours from Ditchett and certainly at Paul Nicholls' media day was that they were very sweet on this horse. I think that has got the potential to go off the favourite guys 8-1, but I'm sure there's one or two horses down below there that could really make a move in the market here and also make their make a good case for winning the race. Marsh Warbler 12-1 shot for Brian Ellison. His form is fantastic at the moment on the flat, certainly at a place like Southwell, and that would give you a real boost for the well-being of his yard. But 12-1 that horse, so wide open as you'd expect at the moment. Grandouille the favourite at 6-1.
Yeah, it looks a cracking race, and I think the Triumph Hurdle's really got a lot better since they introduced the Fed Winter a few years ago, so that should be great stuff, definitely. But let's move on to the real thing, the headline event at the festival, the Gold Cup, of course. Always like the Champion Hurdle race, it never lets you down. We had the best mate area at the start of the last decade, then the Cottle Star Denman, and now this year's theme seems to be, is it all about the new kids in the block or the old guard? That's the question. Let's start with the old guard and the defending champion, probably out the old guard with the least questions to answer, and that's Imperial Commander. Will he win again?
I think that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The number one thing I'd be worried about with Imperial Commander, he's had 3 racecourse gallops in the last 3 weeks, and for me that's a real concern, because I think when you take a horse to the racecourse, it buzzes them up. They don't actually know that they're not racing. When they get to the races, it takes plenty out of them, and I'd be a little bit worried about that tactic. He worked very disappointingly, or so they said, when he walked at Warwick after racing. But the horse that he walked with, it looked like it was galloping all over him, absolutely bolted up in a bumper. So the form has got an okay look to it now. He then worked better when they took him to another racecourse, and they've taken him again since, and they say he's really come to life. He's got a great record around Cheltenham. Do not forget that. And I think, you know, you're looking at the old guard. You've got Koto Star. A lot of people saying, has he gone, has he not? Denman beaten 20 lengths or so in a Hennessy. Okay, he was carrying top weight, but I just think that this race could be won by the new one. And the new kid on the block is Long Run. A lot of people saying, and you were one of them, saying that he's got bad record round Cheltenham. Well, they found that he was wrong when he ran in the Paddy Power. I had the biggest bet I've ever had in my life on him in the Paddy Power. He was rated 156. I thought he was a certainty, and he got beat. They said he was sick afterwards. They brought him back, freshened him up. He wins the King George and wins it comprehensively. Last year he ran in it at Cheltenham as a 5-year-old in the RSA chase. He'd had a tough year. I think the real long run is going to turn up in the Gold Cup, and I think he'll win.
Well, what very firm words there. I'm not convinced personally, but let's see what happens. Anything else lower down the bet, like a Pandorama, could be. This is if there's ever going to be a 20-1, 25-1 shot winning the Gold Cup, this is the year, surely.
Yeah, it could well be. But Pandorama, I've also backed him in the Hennessy. His Hennessy was cut short. He got very badly hampered earlier on by a faller, and that put him effectively out of the race. Good winner in Ireland since, but they say, the scouts in Ireland tell me, this horse worked brilliantly against Rail Dove, who many people think has an outside chance in one of the races at the festival the other day. Noel Meade told the owner immediately after the bit of work, get on and back him now for the Gold Cup. Such was the way he worked, but I think he has to have real cut in the ground. So I think just hold your bets on Pandorama until you see a definitive weather forecast.
Okay. Russ, do you think the punters will follow Mick's advice and smashing it long run come a week on Friday?
I think they will, Chris, and the reasons are because he's the new kid on the block. I mean, and the last time we saw him on a race course was in the most dominant performance we've seen in the King George for many a year, obviously taking Courtauld Star's crown. So I think you have to give Long Run the credit there. At 5-1, it certainly represents an each way bet. There are obviously concerns about Sam Whaley-Cohen. Let's not just dwell on that too much. But you know, he's not a professional jockey. He is taking on the big boys here, and maybe there are some issues about Cheltenham. But I thought the ground was a little bit quick last year in the RSA chase. Still a good performance that day. Weapons Amnesty was given a great ride by David Russell. I still think 5-1 represents fantastic value. Let's just take the betting though from the top here. We've got Imperial Commander, the 100-30 favourite, defending champion. Then we've got Long Run there, 5-1. Denman and Courtauld Star both training at 6-1, and then Kempes, who's been a little bit forgotten actually in the build, slowly contracting in price at 10-1. So, you know, is it time for these old guard to say goodbye? I think it probably is. But come the day, let's make no mistake about it, both of those horses will be well backed. There's plenty of sentimental punters and emotional punters at Cheltenham. They will be going for the likes of Courtauld Star and Denman. But for me, around about the same price, it has to be Long Run.
Long Run, well, it's new kids in the block for these guys. I would tend to agree, perhaps not about Long Run though, but let's just hope all the old guard get round safe and they go out in a style that they deserve. Courtauld Star and Denman, two legends of National Hunt racing. It's all about the Gold Cup, it's all about day 4, can't wait for that.
You got 4 days, one way to get my heart racing. All roads I see lead to you. You gotta look up, stand out, so everyone can hear it out loud, 'cause you're proud. And when you hear the roar, your heart tells you you want some more. You got the hill to climb, and time is on our side. And you got to cheer up the rail, and you know we'll never fail. You gotta take this chance.